we're doing our little. Oh, thank you. We're doing a little different time today, so maybe that helps out some of the people in our Facebook group that typically wouldn't be able to get on during the day. So I'm spotlighting myself. Nick will be on in a few minutes. So I'm gonna give people a few minutes here to hop on. And
I'm here now, so we're good.
Oh, you are good. Okay.
Can you are we alive on Facebook now?
I'm not sure. I didn't go live. Can you do that?
No yet, Nick.
I think I think I got to reclaim host to do it. Hang on one second. Let's see, live on Facebook.
We are just give us a couple minutes to get everybody on here. In the chat, if you guys are I'd like to know if a couple of things. What if this time works better for everyone? Because we typically do it during the day on Monday. Is evenings better? Can we get now we're live, we're streaming now. I think we're streaming. Are we?
I believe so. Somebody, Elvia, can you check that? Pretty sure we are.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so in the chat, just let us know if this is a better time for typically as I'm here. Let me add Nick, where are you at? I'm going to add you onto the spotlight here.
You're freezing up a little bit already.
Let's see here. Oh,
well, that's because it's Facebook. Oh, that's Facebook. Hang on. Let me try to close that down. There you go.
I'm gonna so like I said, if this is a better time, let us know in the chat. That'd be good. I'm trying to spotlight you, Nick. It's not letting me. Actually, I'm not a host, so you got to give me host.
You guys make sure you mute when you guys come in. Let's see here, Eric. Valerie, where are you? Okay.
We're hopping on. Give us a second here. Nick just walked 36 holes today, so he's probably worn out. He's not ready for the.
We're at 18, so that's just, I'm not 25 years old anymore either.
You look tired, man.
I'm super tired.
Yeah. So hey, we're gonna get started here. Actually let's give another minute or so to let everyone in. We have a special guest. One of the guys that's been in our group for quite a while. Has done some deals with us. Let's say seasoned investor, and he's a part of something that Nick and I are involved in and would like to support. We typically wouldn't do this as our thing, but I think that he's doing some really good stuff, and so I want to get Howard on here. Give us a couple minutes. I'm going to actually, I'll spotlight you.
Hey, Howard, you want to, we can give you a screen show too, if there's something that you want to show. If there's anything you want to see, if not, we can just talk about it. That's fine too.
Yeah.
It's really up to you guys. I mean, I have a short 2-minute, kind of infomercial about the event. If you want to see kind of something about the event itself.
Because I think it's put a lot of time and effort into it. It's something I think is extremely important. If anybody's going to be in the Houston area, if they can support it locally, that'd be awesome. We have a lot of Texas people on here, and if not, we're gonna do something here in a little bit. So why don't you let me give you a screen share, Howard, and you should be good to go.
All right. Well, I guess by way of introduction, my name's Howard Laster. Pleasure to speak to everybody here. And, Eric and, Nick are too generous to give me a minute here, but appreciate it. And so as Eric and Nick mentioned, we've done some things with these fellows and enjoy working with them and being partnered with them. One of the things that I'm really passionate about outside of trying to make money is trying to give back. And the give back component for me is I'm on the board here, and this is a local charity that we're going to talk about this evening. It's actually more than one, it's two. But we're having our second inaugural, what we call Drive for Kids event. And, if you're interested, I think there's some incentives from Nick and these guys to, you guys on some of the materials that they were talking about possibly donating some of the proceeds. So I'll let them address that. But appreciate that. And just real quickly, I guess I'll just kind of give you a quick overview. It's a 2-minute little video, just kind of about what the event's about. And I'll tell you a little bit about what we actually do for some of these kids and give you some perspective on why you might or might not donate. And I appreciate you guys, frankly, let's see, there we go. See if we can share. There we go. Hearing us out here. So let me know if by way of the chat, if there for some reason the audio is not good, Nick. So I'm going to truncate that a little bit because I know it's a little long, guys. So appreciate that. I'm going to stop sharing screen here. Did I stop sharing screen? Stop share. Okay. So that hopefully gives you a little bit of flavor. So it's a car event. My legacy in cars is racing. And so I have a relationship with the track. And as I mentioned, I'm on the board for Child Advocates. And one of the gentlemen who runs the track is on the board for the outfit called Arms Wide Adoption. Those are our two charities. If you're in Texas and you got a cool car and you want to come down on September the 17th, we'd love to have you. It is this year going to be a track day for those who raise $500 or more. There'll also be a high performance HPDE session in the afternoon. If you live in Texas, you're maybe familiar with Lupi Tortilla as a brand, and they're our title sponsor this year, and they'll be providing breakfast as well as lunch and margaritas. Of course, you don't get to drink a margarita if you're going to do the afternoon session, but there'll be some coaching out there with some professional coaches, myself and a few other folks involved in those sessions. And just to speak to the charities real quickly, Child Advocates is Harris County CASA, for if you're familiar with CASA, and it's basically advocacy for the children that have been removed from their homes. It's a year-long process that they go through with the court. And when you think about that, it's pretty tough road for these kids. They're taken away from their family and oftentimes placed with another family member, but oftentimes placed even in foster care. And, the attorneys for the state represent the state, and the attorneys for the parents represent the parent, but there's not a voice for the child. And that's really what we do we run a volunteer-based program, and we have advocates that are assigned. And I could tell you all kinds of tear-breaking stories. And with the exception of the two cute kids in front of the Lamborghini in that picture, every other kid in that is a story that I know. And so really deeply passionate about this. So any considerations appreciated, small or large. Last year was our first year. We got canceled due to COVID in 2020. We raised almost $100,000 last year. And that was split between the charities. So it's a good event. We're a lot of really great people. And like I said, if you're from the Houston area and you want to come down, even as just a spectator, it's a $25 spectator fee. And I can assure you, you can't go to Lupi Tortillas and spend $25 and get breakfast at lunch. Heck, you can't even get lunch. It's worth it, other than the fact that the track is just a little bit north of Angleton. So it is a little bit south of Houston proper. So with that, I'm going to hush and not eat into you guys. meeting.
Thanks. Hey, Howard, is there a reason why you didn't put my 1984 Honda Accord in the video?
Well, Nick, I didn't want to intimidate people because I want people to come, and I know if you're bringing that, folks won't want to come to the tracks.
I put the windshield back in because you said there had to be a windshield to be able to get on the track. So
yeah, either that or you have to wear a helmet. So one of the two.
I got a couple guys to push me out of the way if I break down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So real quick, Howard's a good buddy of ours. He's doing deals with us. He's probably one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to underwriting and just business, and just an all around good guy. And so we've been talking about this charity a little bit, but so our digital product is typically $19.97. So we have a $500 discount, and then if anybody go ahead, if anybody buys the digital product between today and tomorrow, we're gonna donate 50% of all the proceeds to the charity. And so one of the reasons, the reason we're doing this is we really, Nick and I do these calls every week, right? The digital product that we have for Creative Dealmaker on, getting cash now, cash flow, cash later, like it's everybody that's going through our program and they're actually going through the courses and learning it, they're implementing it and they're getting deals and they're making, and obviously there's making a difference, which for our passion and our purpose is providing home ownership for homeowners that aren't able to get a traditional bank loan. So it's kind of a all around win-win. And so Nick and I wanted to just do a little promo and, selfishly, get some opportunities for people to get into our program, as well as give that money to the charity for Howard and be a part of that. So we'll put the link in here, you guys, and then that's it. That's all I want to say is
just go to the order page. I think we have an order page that you can just go directly to. Do it. We'll see. We're going to timestamp everything, and then
there it is.
Just make sure there's a couple different links out there. Make sure that you're on the link that we put on there with the $500 discount for you, and then of the net proceeds that come back from that, we're going to take the 50% of that and give it back to Howard and his organization. So, and then Howard, if you want to put the link in there, a couple people were asking for
Here,
it.
I'll do it. It's right here. I'm going to put it in, but I appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions or whatever, just put it in the chat.
I'm going to try to be down there. So if anybody if I'm going to try to be down there, I don't know if my Honda will make it from Austin to Houston. I'm going to leave on Thursday, which is a couple days early. No, I'm just teasing. I'm going to be down there, and if we want to, maybe if enough people down there want to do a little meetup or something while we're down there, bring it on. That's what we can have some lupes and talk about deals. Because let me tell you guys, even if Howard wasn't on the call tonight, and this was just something we added today, what we're doing right now inside the masterclass and the materials that we're adding, it's worth 10 times more than the masterclass itself. And you want to know my opinion of it because of all the changes in the environment. So there's some really, really ninja stuff that we're adding. And to be quite honest with you, you're going to need to go through the masterclass, just like when we did the masterclass, the 2-day event that we did about a month or so ago. And the reason we said, hey, make sure you have at least, I think I succumbed to Eric and let you guys attend for less than a 50% completion rate. But the masterclass is the precursor for everything that we're starting to do moving forward. And you're going to want to have it. You're going to want to do it because we're likely going to have to add, because of the size of the group, we're going to do some probably advanced stuff, and it's going to be by invite only. And the only way that you're going to be able to get into the invite only, and not going to be any additional charge. It's just going to be advanced stuff, and it's only going to be for people that have not only purchased the masterclass, but have actually gone through it, because it's too difficult to try to go back on some of the stuff if you don't understand the basic fundamentals of what Eric and I do every day. And I'm going to show you some stuff here in a minute. So I don't have anything else for Howard. Howard, you're more than welcome to stay on. I know you were on our call earlier today, but you know.
I would
pitching.
love to. I've got a commitment this evening, so I've got to go get
No
ready.
worries.
But I certainly deeply appreciate you guys as friends as well as business partners, and thank you for
Awesome.
the
Well,
evening.
we're
And,
happy to help. That's for sure.
you know, last comment I would make is realize this is a local charity, and so it may or may not be for everybody. You know, donate in your area if you want. Last comment that I didn't make is we do have corporate sponsors. Those are still open. If you're in the Houston area and said, hey, you know, I have a philanthropic cart and we have a budget for that and we're looking for something new to do, then I put my phone number in here as well as business email. Please feel free to reach out. And if you're down at the event, please stop by and introduce yourself. The date is the September the 17th, so Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, John. Thank you for asking that. And I do have a brochure that I can send as well. So please feel if you have
get
interest.
it over. We'll post it in the Facebook group as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Just if you can, if it's an email, just send it to us. We'll get it posted, and you know, we can even post it as an event inside the Facebook group too. Just because not everybody's on this call, right? I mean, we have 4,000 people, and not everybody's on this call. I mean, we'll get another couple hundred that'll watch the replay. We'll probably add it to some other emails. So any content you have, we'd be happy to share it with us and go from there.
Yeah,
So
I'll get you guys an email over here in just a minute, and yeah, we've definitely, you know, we've got a PDF for pretty much everything, but I'll send you the kind of the participant one for this. So
awesome.
Cool.
All right, thanks,
All right.
Howard.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate
Good
you.
to see you guys. All right, y'all have a great meeting.
All right, take care. All right. Let's see here. What do you want to do first, Eric? You want to go to the? Do we want to go to Q&A questions real quick? I see that there's some stuff in the chat, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff in my email relative to what I'm seeing right now on deal flow opportunity, which is going to be a precursor to sort of what we're talking about adding to the masterclass, and then eventually doing in the advanced strategy class that we're going to probably start adding in the next week or two. That's going to be outside of the office hours live. So
So first thing, a little bit of housekeeping. Like our Facebook group is growing. We've got tons of can everybody hear me? You guys yes. Can you just I just want to make sure you can hear me good. Okay, good. Is that the Facebook group is growing. You guys are doing a ton of networking there there's over 4,000 people now in our Facebook group that are adding value and stuff. So as you do that, just start really, you know, putting all your questions in there. And then for me, like personally, this is the reason Nick and I do this, is because all the questions that get answered and comments that get answered in the Facebook group, we like to bring them back into our nightly call, our weekly calls. So everybody benefits. Like Nick and I, the opportunities that are out there right now are going to be so like, it's unbelievable the opportunities that are going to be out there because the end result is our buyers are the buyers that we sell our houses to. They've never left the market. they're actually going to increase being in the market. So once we start working through that. So I guess the main housekeeping stuff is if you guys have any questions on how to get into the master class, it's in the chat or the academy. Which also has the master class in the academy. We uploaded it in there. And then just put all your questions in there and then we'll take them in and then we'll try to answer them all as a group so we can all benefit. So let's see. And then we'll go through the Q&A, but Nick and I, so Nick's got some good stuff that over the last less than 30 days, there's been some opportunities that we've been testing with some of our wholesalers. And so there's a lot of people in our group that don't have a marketing budget or don't want to have a marketing budget. They want to focus on realtors, wholesalers, people that are out there direct to seller, and they have these amazing systems and processes to go direct to seller, right? So they're doing all the hard work, okay? But what we're doing right now is we're going to discuss a little bit of a couple strategies that we believe the majority of these properties that you're seeing on your list or how to go create a list or from wholesalers and realtors that have off-market properties, we believe that the majority of those houses aren't going to sell. Like, I mean, a large portion of them are not going to sell. But I will say,
Eric, let's go through the questions from last week. I want to get those out of the way.
Okay.
And then we can jump into, because I want to make sure we have the time to go through it. So the couple of questions that we have that we need to get answered are, let's go down here. Question number 1. I'm not sure what you did on this here. Okay. Okay, and get this, we get this asked quite a bit. Any private money lenders in the group? So if you're a private money lender and you're in the group, go ahead and say, the whole point of this group is to collaborate. If you're a lender, great. If you're a wholesaler, great. If you're a marketing agent, great. Every one of those tasks needs to be done. Now we do have some lenders in our resource center that we vetted that you might use for your own internal deals. So use that as well. And the resources are getting updated on a regular basis. So if you're a lender or you have
real quick to answer the question, because someone said, where is all that information? If you go in Facebook group under the resources, you can add the resources tab again, but it has all that information there. I mean, we create a resource tab for you guys to use. Okay.
So
that's where a lot of that information is.
Elby, just put in the chat again.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the chat up. All right, good. Okay, so it says in your CDM model case study, you acquire subject to from a wholesaler for 129, 60% ARV for 215. That's not true. It wasn't subject to. We bought it from a hard wholesaler using hard money, and then we wrapped. But that's just to clarify. The question is, for this model to be a good fit, exit strategy, does our acquisition need to be around 60% of ARV, or will this model work for properties acquired at a higher percentage ARV? Great question. So it depends. And what it depends on is how well you can calculate the actual value of the property when you exit, okay? Because what you have to remember, like if you've downloaded the new model, right? We've changed it. I think it was initially 75 and 90. So 75% first lien, and you could sell it on average at 90% of the note balance. Now we've adjusted it down to 72% first lien value and 88%. So that doesn't mean you're going to give up money. What all it does is means that we got to shift the profit side of it over into the second note. Because if you don't do that, then you end up having to pay a big discount on the first note that you wrote, and then you end up losing the money. So what we're seeing right now, I don't like giving away money, okay? You guys shouldn't like giving away money. So instead of pushing the limit to see if you can get maximum value, because you got to remember, as a note buyer, anybody that's going to be a note buyer, whether it's Eric and me, or it's anybody outside of that buys notes to be the bank, they're always looking at the risk. They're looking at the borrower's underwriting file, but they're also looking at their investment to value, okay? And the value is not the price that you sell it for. The value is the value of the property. So it's just because you can sell it for $200,000 doesn't mean it's worth $200,000. Okay, we sell stuff above value all the time. Okay, I'm not going to sell, because the definition of price is what somebody is willing, what you agree to sell it for, what they agreed to pay for it, right? But that doesn't mean it's worth that at that moment in time. Up until 30 days ago, even 45 days ago, we had appreciation as our friend, right? So you could literally not do anything with the property for 6 months and probably in most cases have the value go up at least 15 or 20% in just 6 months. Well, we can't predict that now. So what we're going to have to start doing, and what I'm starting to do personally, and I haven't done this in a long time, but once I get a borrower for my property that we're going to sell or finance, I'm going out and either going to get a BPO, which is a broker price opinion, a third-party evaluation of the property, or I'm getting a full appraisal. Because the reason why that $400 or $500 cost will allow me to set the value of that first lien note to get maximum value instead of guessing what it is. Think about it like this. If you take a property, let's say it's $200,000, okay? And you can write, and you know that you can push to get that value at, let's just use 88%, okay? But let's just say that you know the value truly is 200,000, and you can write it at 75%. Well, that means you're going to write a $150,000 note, and you're going to get 88% on it, going to get $132,000. Right now, the model says 72%. So what does that mean? Well, that means you're going to take $200,000 times 0.72, okay, which is 144. That's $6,000 that you're moving to the second lien, so you don't have to discount it to get the value. Why is that important? Well, it's only important if you need cash to do the transaction, right? That's $6,000. That's a wholesaler fee. So if you don't care about that, then write a 70% first and just take a bigger second and less cash. Because what you're going to see in some of these models is the second lien value is going to go up and the cash is going to go down, right? So you just have to determine what it is. But if you know the value of the property, and then because you might sell it for 220 and the appraisal comes in at 200, you have to use the $200,000 to set the first lien value. But the good news is that's what we show you and do. If you're in the masterclass and you go through it, that's exactly what you learn. So use the model if you're not going to be in the group from the masterclass, use the model conservatively, because otherwise you run the risk of having to pay a deeper discount. And it's the discount that you're going to never get back is a hell of a lot more money than the $500 you're going to pay on appraisal.
So let's recap. So Nick, so what you're saying is, and this is what we do, what we find is rather than, so we would rather write the note correctly on the front end. So God forbid you have to sell that note you create that note on the front end correctly. You're just going to push all the difference into the second lien. So you're going to have a bigger second lien. So you're not losing the money. You're just getting more cash flow on that second lien. So you may or may not, you might not have a ton of net cash, but you got these big second liens that you've created, so that's the benefit for that rather than.
I'd like to see, and if you're using the model, and we'll do the model next time, we won't want time to do it tonight. I like to see a minimum of 4x relative to my cash into the deal. So like when you see the cash now, cash flow, cash later, and that cash shows a negative $5,000, okay? I want to see a minimum of a $20,000, and it probably should be 5x. Because what that says is I'm going to invest $5,000, but in return, I'm going to get a $25,000 second note, okay? Right. So you're investing into that return. And I don't have the calculator
but
here.
Keep in mind the second lien is at 10% interest. So I want to bring up. So we had a guy email me yesterday and wanted he had a couple notes he had for sale that he created, and he clearly didn't know who we were at the time, because he has I think the value. Let's just say the values are $125,000. He created $55,000 notes, first liens. But his interest rate's 3.5% to 4%. So
that's what he wrote it at?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So now he's asking,
what is that, about a $50,000 mistake?
The investment to value is now there's probably some appreciation or whatever he paid, but the investment to value is great, but there's no yield. There's no yield because he wrote the notes at such a market rate. So now, I mean, he'd be lucky to get half of that note. Now, he could potentially sell a partial, which we could go into in more detail later, but he could get. They're still going
to want the yield though.
Well, I know. So if they wanted a 10% return, it's probably still, I mean, they'd still have to, 10-12% return with that investment to value, which is really good. I mean, the risk is very, very low if the value's there, but they're still going to want a return on their investment. So he might be able to sell 15 grand of that note, for the term if you need some liquidity. So there's still an opportunity there for him
Yeah,
to get
but
some
why
of
do
his-
that in the first place?
What's that?
Why create the note incorrectly in the first place?
Well, that's why we're doing, that's why we do this
Yeah.
stuff. You know,
Because at the end of the day, to be quite honest with you, Eric, I would never have looked at that personally. I mean, if somebody sends me something to me personally, I'm going to tell them I can't help you, because the amount of time, energy, and effort to not only do the due diligence and underwrite the file, we're going to make them some ridiculous offer because the yield's going to be so low. So, guys, if you're going to do this, do it the right way, because otherwise, you're better off going and doing something else. I'm telling you. You do not want to write these low interest rate loans. One, because you're going to get crushed on the discount. But two, you don't need to. You don't have to. There's a reason why they can't go down to Chase, Wells Fargo, or Bank of America and get a bank loan. It's perceived risk is part of it, and that's the price you pay to have seller financing as a borrower in the event of higher interest rate. You want to go refinance it, pay it off early? Cool. No big deal. But you're going to have to pay the interest rate, and the buyers understand that.
I would imagine, I'm just going and listen, this is just all I looked at some basic terms on this thing. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because that typically people will be like, oh, well, I got a big discount on it. I'll just create the note at market value. I'm still making, X amount of money, dollars a month. It's still a good deal. Well, not really, because if you need to liquidate, which he's trying to do right now, he's going to get maybe half of what the note is written at because of the interest rate, the low interest rate that he did. Now, as in our masterclass and some of the other things, when you start asking sellers to create notes, which is where the market's going, you want to do the opposite for the same reason, right? So yeah. There's a huge opportunity right now to do that. So anyway,
getting back to that example where I said you're going to get less cash now in a bigger second note. So in the example, I said, hey, I want to see a 5x return, right? So you invest $5,000 to get a $25,000 second. Based on that cash flow that comes in, based on an investment, it's a 53% return on your investment. Okay.
So Nick, so what you're saying is God forbid you sell that, you got to create the first lien at a lower LTV to get it sold at top dollar.
Yep.
You're going to push it over to the second lien's bigger. Okay. So you write a check for $5,000, but you're making 50% on your money. So how many people?
Yeah, and it's not even that, Eric. It's 50% while your money is deployed.
Yeah.
Right. So your money is deployed for in this situation, you get all your money back in 23 months. Okay. But let's just take a look at this on this amortization table, because I think it's pretty important to see this. Let me share my screen. And let me get to this thing here. Give me a second. Let's see here. I want to show this because this is really, really important. And this is probably the biggest game changer where we're going to get more deals. And we talked about this a couple calls ago, where if you don't have the $5,000 or $10,000, just borrow it and extend it out longer. So let me share my screen here, and I'm going to just show this calculator here because this is really important here. Let's see, calculator. Okay, let me know that you can see my screen. You see it okay? You see it?
Yeah, I can see your screen, but I can't see the
Can't see the note calculator?
No.
Really? Okay. It says it. It says it's there. Let's see. No? Can't see the note calculator? Can anybody else?
Can anybody else see the note calculator? Put yes or no in there. No.
Let's type yes or no.
No.
Nobody else can see it? Okay, let me try one more share. Oh, you know what? I bet you, maybe it's, let's try one more time. Let's try this one. How about now? You see the note calculator?
No, you're probably in the wrong screen.
I don't know why that's doing it. Let me stop the share. Well, I don't know. I'm on a different system here. There again, I was just going to show you what the breakdown of the payoff was. So it's not a big deal. This is what we did.
What calculator were you
The
on?
only thing is, unless Howard's still on and he didn't.
No, I took them off.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, no, we saw your screen. It just didn't have what you wanted on there.
What did it have?
It was black and then it went to my background.
Oh, I wonder why that it was. Okay. I'm gonna try one more time.
Probably sharing the wrong window.
Yeah.
No, I do this for a living. I'm pretty much sure I'm not. I'm sorry.
You are sharing.
What are you seeing? I can't see what you're seeing.
We're seeing my background on there.
That's weird. I don't know. It must be something because you guys, it doesn't matter. Maybe I was in the middle of an install when I came on. Maybe there's something going on with that. So I'm just gonna stop the share. It doesn't matter.
Give me the link and I'll try and share it.
Well, it's the node unlimiter. It's the node unlimiting tool.
Okay, no, I'll do it.
I'm
Hang
just
on.
gonna have you pull it up and see. See if you can share it.
Okay. They changed their, you know what, I have the node unlimited on my, let's see.
It's just nodeunlimited.com.
No, I know, I'm in it. All right. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's use the $25,000 example, right? So just do 25,000, do 10%, round number. It's gonna be 215, 16 bucks probably. Okay.
That's 250. There we go.
There you go. So let's just say you had to pay $5,000 instead of getting cash at closing, you had to come out of pocket to do that. Well,
But just
okay.
real quick, if you guys don't have $5,000 at 50% return, you probably could find $5,000 and pay whatever you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and just say you have it though.
Yep. So let's just scroll down. So if you take 200, what's the payment? 216.
Yep.
So think about it like this, okay? So it's an investment, right? Even if you had zero money, go borrow the $5,000 and pay somebody whatever the return is, because it's only 23 months. You could pay them 36 months. It doesn't make a damn difference. Scroll down, Eric.
Okay.
Let's go down to 23 months, like it's your own money. Okay.
There it is.
So now in month 23, you got all your capital back, which is the 5,000. The borrower still owes you $24,000 at this point.
No, the borrower owes you 24,720. They didn't even pay down the amortization by $300.
So at this point, once you get to month 23, this becomes free and clear because you're paid yourself back. Okay. But what you guys have to understand on the notes is that if you go back up, look at the very top where it says total interest payments.
Yep.
Why is it only 2-1? That's not right. Go on.
That doesn't. Why is that?
It should be more than that.
That can't be right.
No, total interest payments way more than that. Go back up and redo that again. It should be 75,000.
25, 10 term.
I know, put it in and recalculate because that's not right. There it is. It just changed. 78,000. I don't know what it was. So think about it like this, guys. The $25,000 face value note isn't really worth $25,000. It's really worth $79,000 because of amortization. Okay. What's really wild is that it's worth less. The day that you created, it's worth less because note buyers are going to want it on the discount. But if it starts performing and over time, it's actually worth 3 times more than what it is. So if you don't have to sell anything, you're better off just keeping everything. But we got to sell stuff because that's how we capitalize the business to go and redo it.
So Nick, real quick, just for fun. So so let's go out 10 years because let me just tell you, I have notes right now that are 11 years old so in 120 months, check this out, 120 months, little $25,000 second lien. That deal, the payoff in 120 months, which is 10 years, is 22,000. Just make it, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say 22.5, right? So you got 120 payments, right?
Yep,
At what did I say,
216.
219?
216 times
No, 219.39 times 120
That's $26,000 plus the payoff.
plus the payoff of 20. What was it again? Sorry. 24, no, 120.
23 or something, let's see.
120 is 22,000 plus 22,750 or whatever. So that's a $50,000 deal. Okay.
With no risk, because the risk was already mitigated when you paid. Well, you have risk.
Yeah, well, hold
some
on.
risk.
Guess who you don't owe? You don't have a first mortgage. It's not a rental property. It's not a BRRRR method. It's not any of these things because right now your amortization is your appreciation. You don't have to deal. It's just a better, I don't know. It's okay. It's a good tool in the toolbox. I'm not gonna say it's better because that's my opinion and my belief. So, yeah. So do you fall out of your chair? What are you doing over there?
No, I'm trying to close this damn thing. It's the freaking thing's bright here. I mean, I can't, the light's bad. I'm just gonna close it. There. Now I can see.
For all the people that just got on the
Yeah,
call
man.
late, everyone who got on the call late, Nick just walked 36 holes. He's in Florida. He's probably gonna pass out right now. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
There. All right. Still got the lights right where I'm supposed to be. All right. That's all you get. It's like I'm in a movie booth now. All right. So we will go through the model on the next one and just show it again. But because
The Note Unlimited calculator is free. It's a great calculator just to plug in and play with the numbers, so you can really understand how the math on the amortization works.
All right, let's get back to the last couple questions, and I want to, well, I might not be able to share my screen. Obviously, it's not working, but I'll try a different website. So during the underwriting process to sell with owner financing, is an appraisal ever required? Well, I sort of just answered that. The short answer is no. But if you can't establish the value, you're relying on the note. You're relying on the subjectivity of whoever the note buyer is to have them determine the value themselves. So it didn't matter 3 months ago because we knew that prices were appreciating, properties were appreciating. I would not risk that now. I would get the appraisal, I'd pay the money, and it's going to get you 10 times back what it cost you to do it.
And here's the thing, and that's a good investment, but as the market adjusts, and I can tell you right now, I'm underwriting deals right now that literally 30 days ago, they're in the 80% range, and now they're at 72%. These are wholesale deals. Now, these are wholesalers that they're just sending me deals all day long, wanting, because they know we have the end buyers. Like, we have the end buyers for these projects. So it's the opportunities are really going to be really, really good. And the answer, so John asked, isn't the note buyer gonna get appraisal anyway? Some do, some don't. It depends on your relationship. Depends on how they underwrite people. Some of them,
the note buyer never gets an appraisal. They can't get an appraisal because somebody's living in the house. You can't get
they can get a BPO,
can't get a traditional appraisal.
drive by. They can have a realtor. They can have a realtor give them.
Well, that's a BPO.
Yeah.
That's it. But that's probably not. That's not the type of appraisal we're thinking of. All right.
Yep.
So a couple more questions, and then I'm gonna try to share my screen again. It says, if you have 5 to 10 people interested in one property and they meet your initial pre-qual questions, how do you choose? I don't know. I mean, whatever deal makes the most sense.
Stacy asked that one, right?
Yeah. I mean,
So
have a lottery.
So
person who wins. Who's got the most down payment? At the end of the day,
this is an opportunity.
They qualify.
I actually have that going on right now. Like, I don't know if I should start a bidding.
Well, I know
war.
what I would personally do. I'd go find out what makes that property so desirable, 5 or 10 people, and I'd go find 3 more properties.
Well, it's cheap, okay, and it needs a little bit of work. And these people around here don't have a whole lot of money in this particular part of Florida, so they're all up on it.
Good. Well, that's usually what happens in most places.
So Stacy, what I would do is, what we do is they bid on the down payment. The highest and best, just like any other deal. You know how some, those, our buyers well, a lot of them have a lot more money than what they say they have. If they want that house and they want that security and they want home ownership, they want a 30-year note, they want a place to live and not have to move out and get it, and you get moved on. So just for fun for the group, what are the numbers on that deal?
It's a small deal. Okay. So I'm selling the place. It's a small condo for 88 grand.
Okay.
I asked for 20 to 25% down because the HOA has their own set of rules. So they require 25% if your, credit is below a certain amount. But anyway, so I have one person that said, they have 25%. I have another who said 35, another one 55, another one who said, well, I'll give you, 20%, but can I pay it off in January when I sell my other house? So
Pay off.
Do they own their other
yeah,
house
they want to
free and
pay
clear?
me off. They want, they want to
Do
pay
they own
it
their
in
other
full.
house free and clear?
Yeah.
Well, then just cross collateralize it. Doesn't make it pay off freaking 20 years.
Some people say they will.
I missed that
I
part.
wouldn't even take a down payment if I could cross collateralize.
I missed that part. I'm sorry. It cut out.
I
for a
said,
second.
if they have a property that's free and clear, then you can cross collateralize it against the property you're selling, and that becomes part of the transaction. So now, which would you rather have? 20% down, or would you rather have a lien on a property that somebody owns free and clear that's worth $150,000 or $100,000 or any amount?
I can ask that question, but what if they don't?
What do you mean? If they don't own it, or they say no?
No, what if they don't have a property that's?
Oh, I thought you just told me the buyer that wanted to pay you in January, they said when they sell their house.
Oh.
Does that buyer own their property free and clear?
No, to my knowledge, no.
Oh, okay. I thought they did.
Okay.
If they do, then that's easy. Okay. But yeah, you just gotta, here's the thing. You have to make a decision on what's most important to you. Cash now or cash flow. And everybody's gonna have a different answer to that question. And how much, and then the next question is how much cash now? And then because you might go, shoot, if I take $40,000 down, I'm only gonna get a little $7,000 second lien.
Well,
and
I just got it back in a foreclosure. Okay. And then my goal here, I was thinking my goal was I could change here. Okay. I could be sold, but I thought it would be best to not have a short-term capital gain, to try to hold it for a year, but.
Well, then lease option it and turn it into that. Do something with that.
Yeah.
You can just lease option it, and you can do a lot of different things. So,
Yeah. I can't rent it because of the HOA.
For 2 years.
For 2 years, there's a 2-year rental restriction. And they're not considering me as like the continuation. Even though I'm taking it back as a foreclosure, it's like I'm a new buyer all over again. So they're not grandfathering me in I tried that route already to try to wipe out that 2-year restriction or to get an exemption. They wouldn't do it.
okay. Yeah, I don't deal with HOAs.
I know. That's why I just want to get this one gone. So.
Right. Well, then.
So if someone says they're going to pay you off in a few months, then that solves your problem.
Yeah.
But obviously you still got to show ability to pay. You got to go through the same process that you would if you did end up having to keep it and, and collect your
But that
income.
was, in general though, this property or a different property. I mean, let's just say you had 2 or 3 people or if you're lucky more, but 2 or 3 people interested in one property, the TC process is not cheap. Okay. And of course, you want them to pay that on the back end at closing. So how do you choose, I guess in general
Well, if you get them pre-qualified verbally, there shouldn't be no problem with them getting qualified through the TC process. They should all get qualified.
I have questions that I ask them, but what are yours? I ask them, are you paying rent now? How much are you paying? Do you have a job?
They're paying that fee though. If they lie to you and they don't get qualified, that's on them.
How can you make them pay
the
that?
$500 fee or whatever it is for
If they don't qualify, how do you make them pay that?
Because you don't ever even send them to underwriting. They got to pay the fee up front, the application fee to the underwriter. The underwriter's not going to do it for free, when they go in
Right.
to the RMLO.
But I don't think, like, if I sent 3 people over, each person's
Why
not
would
gonna
you
pay
send 3
$500.
people over? You only have one house to sell.
Right.
I mean,
I
I'm just
mean-
asking a question.
Yeah.
Do you really care? Do you really care who buys the house?
No, I don't. I just want, I don't know who's gonna be the best person to
What-
buy it. If they all
What
answer the
difference does it
question.
make? What difference, I'm asking, what difference does it make? Why do you care? I guess my question is this: what, in your opinion, distinguishes somebody being a better buyer than the other?
I don't think that's the question. The question is the qualifications. What, either A, or what if they lied to me about, because I have like 5, 6, 7 pre-qual questions. Okay.
You're not getting, because they're going to put their money where their mouth is, because they're going to give you some form of a deposit or earnest money or option fee that's non-refundable. If they're not convinced they're going to get it, then they're not going to give you the money.
Do you make a practice of asking for a certain percentage of earnest money?
I get $1,000 deposit on every property I sell, non-refundable, unless I can't provide clear title, which is never the case.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
They don't
getting
like it,
people
then they
right
don't
now
like to
that-
buy my
I'm getting
property.
people right now showing up with 5, 10,000. Well, some of them are showing up with like a bag of like real cash. Like we're like, no, you can't do that. Go get it in a cashier's check and put your 5 or 10,000.
Yeah, don't make it any harder than that. I mean, these buyers will get qualified, and if they don't, you tell them what they need to do to qualify. If they say they don't have any debt and they do, then they got to get another co-borrower.
It's too bad. I have so many people. I have about 40 people that are interested in this place, but I can't find another place like this, in this price range. And it's very difficult here in Florida. Okay, that's number one. Number two is the HOA is a bunch of bullshit here. So I don't want to deal with any of that, to be quite honest. Even if I could get another condo at a good deal, I just,
Right.
and it's hard. And at those prices, it's hard to do the first and second note also. I mean, really.
Why?
Well, because it's so cheap that these people want to pay. They want to pay me for it. They want to write a check for it.
Okay.
So,
Well, then sell it for more money. Why do you have to sell for $80,000? Why can't you sell for $110,000?
because they're selling brand new, fixed up completely for
Well, if
110.
you got 5 to 10 people or whatever the number is, there's a price point where only one of them will buy that. I promise you. I don't know. Is it 85? Is it 90? Is it 92?
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't know unless you set the bench on it and you just go into a highest. Hey, I go to all 5 or 10 of them going, hey, we're in the highest and best situation. That's exactly what I say.
That's exactly what I've been saying.
And what are they coming back at?
That's why I have this handful of people that are willing to, put up
Oh,
half.
that's the highest and
or all.
best.
Mhm.
And you decide from there what you want to go do. I mean, I would not make this complicated. I
Okay.
mean, if it doesn't matter, I could care less which one of the 5 to 10 get the deal.
I don't care either. I was just like, gosh, well, if I have these people, like, do I send them all to make sure that they're qualified? And if
Yeah.
I do,
I would spend more of my time trying to find an alternate property that you can get them in, because look, the bottom line is this: they don't have options. If they're coming to you for seller financing, I can promise you right now, I don't even know who those people are, but there's probably, out of those 5 to 10 people, there's somebody that's probably got $50,000 cash and would buy a $200,000 property from you if you had it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was. So let's share with the group. What was your so now you have a house, you took it back on you foreclosed, took it back. You have this condo, you sent it out through MLS, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. How'd you market to find your buyers?
Facebook.
So Facebook Marketplace. So now you have 5 to 10 people. What I'd be doing is I have 9 other people that I need to go help them find a property.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what I'm
way more
thinking. I'm like,
important than-
geez, okay, sorry that didn't work. Let me go find. now now you have all their money, you know what money they
Actually,
have.
I have like 40 people that are interested. It was just those small handful that I'm really confident about, but you're right. I'm going to go back to all 40 and I'm going to send them a message. Hey, what's your top dollar? What's your price range? So yeah, I didn't really
You can go high. Hey, you can go highest and best. You can go, and then go and say, and then now you start seeing what's going on of the down payment and what they're willing to pay. And then you can go start looking for more property. Like I said, Nick's going to share, hope by the end of this call, we're going to just talk about one particular case study on the opportunities that are going on.
I'm going to share that in a second. So let's go ahead and jump. So one last
Thanks,
question
guys.
here.
Yeah.
Stacy, you have a good problem on your hand. You need to figure out how to solve. The problem that you're trying to solve has already been solved, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
problem that you haven't focused on that you should be solving or looking at is how do I sell every one of those seller finance buyers a property that I don't currently own?
Yes.
And I'm going to
Amen,
show
brother. Amen.
Yeah, I think that's it. And I'm going to show you what I'm seeing right now here in a second. So I got one more question, and then I'm going to try to share my screen. It says, looking to create my very first note for down payment and closing costs to an investor. I'm not sure I understand that. Looking to create my very first note for down payment and closing costs to an investor. I don't know if they're saying I'm going to sell it to an investor. So if you're trying to sell it to an investor, it gets a little dicey because you still need to qualify them as an individual buyer. What they do with the property after the fact is not of any consequence, really, but you have to get them qualified. So I'm not sure that's what they say.
Everybody still needs to have an ability to show ability to pay.
Yeah. It says any help with structuring this deal correctly would be greatly appreciated. Well, that is exactly what the transaction coordinator does. Okay. Get it in there, into whoever it is that you choose to use. Make sure they follow the protocol. There's links in the resource center and do it. I mean, don't try to solve this on your own. I mean, you can, but you're going to be disappointed if you try to. So, all right, let me see if I can share the screen one more time with this email box here. Pull the right email up. Give me a second. Got to go back. Which one is it? Is it this one? Come on. All right, Eric, why don't you check the questions in the chat real quick? Are we caught up on that?
Yeah, I think okay, so Chelsea asked, so is 20% normal? Yeah, I mean, 15-20% for a property for seller finance is very normal. Like people have, I mean, we're doing, but here's if Chelsea, I don't know if you've been on a call before or not, but we're sticking to median home prices in the areas where you're investing. And so whatever that is with the 10 to 15, 20, if it's 10% down, 15% down, you show the ability to pay. That's the most important part. The other thing is, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the most important part of this deal is having the ability to pay. But for me, my experience is anybody that's put over $10,000 down, I literally haven't had any defaults. I haven't. So that's a substantial, they're not putting $500 down, they're putting real money and they're, so.
Yeah, you don't want to, there's plenty of, well, Stacy just said it. She's trying to figure out how I pick which buyer. Well, I guarantee you only need the one that's got the highest down payment.
You can pick whatever one you want and then go find 19 more houses.
Yeah.
Now you just hit your number for the year in the first. This is the greatest thing about what do you need?
I'm going to share my screen, but go ahead and finish what you're saying.
No, this is the greatest thing about when you get a property, you start marketing it. You'll be surprised at how many people come in and need seller financing. You're going to have more. You only have one house, right? So you're going to be surprised at how many are to go find other properties. And now inventory is in our favor. So it's just a great time in our market to do what we do.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to share my screen.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll work this time. I'm not sure. Let me see. Share screen. Okay, here we go.
What are you using, an iPad or something?
No, I'm on my Mac, but my new one's coming, but this thing's on its last leg, I think. All right. What screen do you see there?
It's weird. I don't know why it's saying it says you're sharing, but it
But it's
doesn't,
not.
but it's black. It's like a dark screen.
I think it's because I was in the middle of that update and I probably have to reboot the computer. So
Okay,
I am not going to be able, I'll just tell you what I'm looking at. Okay.
yep,
And I wanted to, it's just visually much more impressive if I can show you, but I am gonna, God, I wish I could share this right here. All right, so I am gonna pull up so I have an email account that I use strictly for deal flow. Okay,
so explain why you do that.
because I don't want, I want to know if I want somebody to manage the account, or I just want all my deals, potential deals that come in into one email account. So
So tell me, so you went out to your database of wholesalers, and let's say it's 15, 20, 30 of them, whatever. They have a specific email and they know the type of property you're looking for.
well,
So
they don't know the
every
type
day-
of they don't know the type of property you're looking for, because you know what? I buy all types of properties if I
Right.
get the deal that I want,
Okay.
right? That's just it. But my point is this. I'm looking right here at this account, all it does. Since 9:30 to 9 this morning till now, I've got 50 properties in my email address, in my email account that all came from wholesalers.
So
Let me read this again. So let's see how many of these. I haven't even looked at this. 'Cause I'm traveling.
but I want to ask you real quick,
Yeah.
I want to interrupt you. How much money did you spend to get 50 leads?
I didn't spend anything.
Zero. Let the wholesalers do
Well,
that.
the wholesaler's doing all the damn heavy lifting, not me.
Yeah.
So point. So let's break this down. I'm just going to take 50 inside the last not even 12 hours. Okay. So I'm going to read some of them here. Let me just see. Let me see. Let's see I'm going to see how many are reduced price. Okay. There's one price reduction. Okay. Another price reduction. Another price reduction. Another price reduction. Let's see here. I'm just seeing how many are in there that already tried and failed. Okay. That's where I'm trying to go at. These people reduced off market. That's another one. Reduced off market. That's another one. Same wholesaler. Reduced another. I have 3 emails from the same wholesaler from 3 different properties, and they all show reduced price. Why do wholesalers reduce price, Eric?
Because they can't sell
Not a trick question.
it.
It's not a trick question. So I'm going to give her a call. I know her. Oh no, she did not. Oh my God. She's got, I wish you could see this. I can't make this stuff up. 5 properties, same wholesaler, and I got within 32 minutes of each other that all have a reduced in market. Let me ask you a question. If they don't sell the property, Eric, how much money does the wholesaler make?
Zero.
They don't make any money. Are you sure? They don't get
I'm
They don't
pretty
get a
sure
partic-
this. I'm pretty sure the sellers aren't giving them money to market this.
they don't get a
property.
participation. They don't get a participation award or
No,
anything for doing that. Interesting.
no.
Okay. So we're going to come back to that. Let me finish this other thing, and I'm trying to funnel this down. Let's see what else we got. New deal. Here's a new deal, sub 2 deal. That's interesting. Let's see here. A lot of fires. I'm getting a lot of fires now in my emoji. Anybody know what the fire logo? It's like fire hot deal, right? Getting all. I never got the hot deals before. Oh, here's a major price reduction, price drop. Okay, another price reduction. I don't know. Maybe it was at 15% of the 50. That already price reducts. So let's talk through it. Now, are all these deals or not? I don't know. But what we're doing now, and I think this is part of this gets into what we're adding into the masterclass, the other structuring of the deal, how to make the deal happen when other people can't. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you go ask 100 wholesalers that wholesale that's their primary strategy for making money in real estate, I'm going to tell you right now, 90% of them do not do stuff creatively. Just don't. Okay.
But why is that, Nick?
Because they don't know.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Transactional model for them.
Well, so here's the challenge with the wholesaling industry in general and real estate just in general is they need the cash flow to pay for all of their overhead in order to keep the ball rolling, right? So now wholesale fees are going down. So now we have a huge benefit because we're getting down payments from our buyers. That gives us our cash now. And then we sell the first and keep the second, and we get the cash flow. Majority of those guys have teams of who knows what, marketing budgets of who knows what, and they're used to making these monster wholesale fees. We're starting to see the loan to values come down. And now the opportunity is for us, like we talked about probably at the beginning of this call, was now it's your time, it's your terms, it's what you can do, it's what you can offer. And right now it's, if the cash offer doesn't work, can we come along for the ride? Nick, you're doing one right now. The agent, it was a wholesaler / agent. They stepped out completely and are letting you hop into this deal and create your own note. They're letting you take over.
I could show it. You know, this is what we're going to do inside the advanced training stuff. But like I would, for example, what I would do, I'm just going to pick one here. I'm just going to find one that I don't know all these areas, right? But I'm just going to, let's just see one here. Let's see here.
I mean, if you stick to the median home price.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find one that fits. Here's a good one. This is a Burr in Terrell, Texas. This is probably right in the price point.
Can you forward it to me and then I'll share the screen so they can see this and visualize it?
Yeah, let's do this right here. This is probably, yeah. Let me find one. I'll just send it to you real quick. Let's see here. Just trying to find. And there's a lot of stuff on here.
So while he's doing that, the thing is we get to write our terms, we get to offer our terms, we get to offer our time frame, we get to have time to go out and find buyers now. We just tell people what we want, and then we can still give them their number. Like a lot of these deals that are dropping, we can, with a 15 to 20% down payment buyer behind us, we can pay them what they want if they give us time. You know, we don't have, that's what we're talking about. You don't have to take it down with hard money nowadays. You can get more creative because you have time. You don't have to deal with some of the competitive hedge fund offers that are out there now. Plus, most of the hedge funds aren't buying the properties that we would be buying anyway.
Let's see here. All right, here's one right here. Let's just see. Let me see if I can forward this to you.
So Chelsea asked, what percentage of acquisitions come from wholesalers? For me, our network is so big that we're getting from realtors, we're getting from wholesalers. We have some direct to seller stuff going on right now, but with all these wholesalers doing all the work for us, why would you need to? I spend the majority of my time networking with our selling agents, knowing what their buyers need, and then when a house comes up, we just buy it. I mean, that's our model.
Pull that one up, Eric. I sent it over to you. See if you can share your screen and pull it. I want to walk through this real quick.
Okay. Hold, please. There it is. Okay. Is it the Property Hub, Texas? That one?
It's the one I just sent you 30 seconds ago.
On Grand Prairie?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
All right, cool. So this came from a wholesale. So just go to the very top.
Okay.
Okay. So this is so what I would do with something like this is, when I know that they're not gonna look, I'm gonna tell you right now, Eric thinks it's higher, but pick whatever number you want. 30% of these deals are going back to the seller.
Sorry.
At least. Okay. maybe 40 or 50%, depending on what it is.
It's
But what I
high.
would do is that I would come in on something like this deal here, and
Yep.
I would tell the wholesaler, look, I will give the seller their asking price. I will pay you a fee for this, but I need to go find my buyer first. And then I restructure the deal. And if I can't, and I go sell it at whatever price. So I'm not taking this stuff down right now because I don't have to. Okay. I could very easily go make this deal work and buy it I probably could buy it for $180,000 cash, maybe less, and then turn around and sell it for 240, run the model and be done. But what I'm going to do is I'd rather say, I'll give you the 199. Okay. I'll pay you the fee or whatever I negotiate, and I'll go find the buyer, but I'm not going to buy it and fund it with hard money because I don't need to. And the reason I don't need to, because I'm just going to find the buyer and I'm going to restructure the deal once I have the buyer. Make sense? I'm eliminating the need for hard money because 3 months ago, it was a seller's market. You had to be first in to get these deals done. You don't need to be first anymore. In fact, you just need to show up. At the end of the day, you just need to show up. So I would just come and negotiate a deal with the wholesaler, and they could take it right back to the seller and say, hey, do you want to do this deal? I mean, this is a good house. Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, these are awesome. It's move-in ready.
I mean, it's move-in ready for our buyer, right? It's
Yeah.
Shoot, this is a $240,000 house all day long in seller financing with $20,000.
And you're gonna get 20 to 30,000 down. You're gonna have a $40,000 second lien. The house is paid off, or the first lien gets taken out, and you're cranking away. Probably 10 grand net cash and a whatever $350 month.
Look, this is not difficult. It's just complex, and for us to do it inside of this is a little bit of a challenge. But this is some of the modules that we're adding back into the master class because these deals can be done now. A year ago, we could not do the deal the way I would structure it right now. Just couldn't, because the seller would just take a freaking cash.
Nick,
and tell everybody else to pound sand.
So you take this deal, the wholesaler agrees because they're like, well, shoot, if I can get paid
Well, the
in 30
wholesaler is
days,
going to agree because of why? Because they just couldn't sell it.
No, because they're going to say, I'd rather get paid in 30 days than not at all.
Well, because that's what I'm talking. We only care about the deals that they can't sell.
Yeah. So
I'm not trying to take money away from a wholesaler that can sell it for transactional cash.
I mean,
I only care about the deals they cannot get done.
I mean, this house will sell for principal, interest, tax, and insurance for $2,500 a month all day long. They'll be happier than hell. They've got this beautiful house, and then drive by it 6 months from now. They'll probably have another bedroom and a bathroom on the thing. They'll take that garage and convert it into a bedroom and a bath, and now you get yourself a 4-2. Happy, right?
Yeah, you don't have to buy. Look. We talk about being the bank all the time. What is the number one fundamental about being a bank? What's the most important thing to understand what being the bank means? What is it? Anybody know? Boy, if somebody doesn't chime into the chat and tell me
tenants.
That's not the most important thing. Well, that's true, Tracy, but even more specific than that. I can't believe I'm going to have to answer my own question and win the $1,000 prize. It's control.
Yeah.
It's control. It's not owning. It's control. Well, landlord, not a landlord. Very good, Will. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We don't have to own anymore. We don't.
Yeah,
we can control.
And you can control.
We always are about control. That's what being the bank is, right? But we used to have to own short time to create the control. Okay. That's what we had to do. And the only way we could do to get to the control is we had to bite the bullet and own, because otherwise we couldn't play the game. Right. Because somebody else would just come out and make a stupid cash offer, and you would never be able to buy anything. Guess what? Let me tell you something. A hedge fund's not buying that property that we just put up there. Guarantee it.
No.
They were You know why? This is another thing. Okay. If you guys aren't on a wholesaler list in your area, you're losing out on a bunch of different things. Okay. But guess what I'm seeing now? When I told you there was 50 in less than 12 hours, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, you know how many I would see within that same amount of time? Probably 20% of it. You know why I'm seeing so many more now? It's because there's not as many buyers. And guess what? Wholesalers aren't able to sell everything to the funds anymore. The funds have shifted their buy boxes. They're still buying. They're just not buying stuff they were buying before. They're more specific. Okay. So guess what? Wholesalers thought they were, hot stuff because they could just sell the funds, which was great. I would have done the same thing. But at the end of the day, that's where we are right now. Okay. And guess what? We're running into all this where other people are running away. And if you can't see the true value that this market's providing to us right now, you're missing out literally it could argue once in a lifetime opportunity, because we have so many things going in our favor right now on the acquisition side with low rates if we buy sub 2, seller being able to carry because there's so much equity in these deals that they've owned in it and they want to get out. The fact that we can wholesale, think how many wholesalers right now, Eric, are wholesalers that weren't wholesaling 5 years ago. It's bananas. There's wholesalers on every damn corner now. So if you just show them how to do something a little bit differently and still get them paid, hey, you know what? Everybody's going to have to work together to get these deals done. And we can show that within the stuff on the advanced stuff. You got to understand the fundamentals of what we teach and do. But look, there's deal after deal after deal after deal in there, and you don't even have to get out of bed to see them. You just be able to create them.
So hold on. So Tracy was saying, can we run through the new model? Well, it's not a new model. What we're doing is, I'll give you a perfect example. So I'm going direct to seller. This is a few years ago, and the seller had to move. Okay, he had a great loan in place, and it was not there was no money on a wholesaler or fix and flip. Okay. I mean, that house had doubled in appreciation by now, but the point is, at the time, there wasn't a lot of equity. So I went to the seller and I said, hey, and you can do this through a wholesaler. You can do it direct to seller. You can do it with an agent. You can do it whatever. You can just say that, here's the deal. I specialize in tenant buyers. I provide home ownership for people that aren't able to get traditional bank financing. Okay. I can give you what you want. Just give me 30 to 45 days to go to get my tenant buyer. Well, I already know I can get that done in 2 weeks or less, right? Once I know that property, because I know there's a tenant buyer in place. And you just literally put it in the contract. This is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not closing unless I find the buyer, my tenant buyer. I use tenant buyer rather than seller finance buyer or owner finance because it confuses people. That's my wording. People get it. They understand it. And guess what? Now I'm going to take away. So this guy had a $2,000 a month payment. Literally 3 weeks later, guess what he got to do? He got to move, and he didn't have that liability. That payment is a liability. I mean, he had to move. He had to move for another job. So he was going to have double payments going on. So I actually got creative on that deal. The point is, even if they wouldn't allow you to keep that payment in place, even if you didn't have to do that, you can still create the deal. Once you get that buyer in place with payment, opening up escrow and doing all that, then you can close out that deal, still sell the first, keep the second, and cash flow.
The exit doesn't change. It's the acquisition can. Okay. That's what that's what you have to understand. The exit doesn't make it, the exit doesn't change at all, but how you buy it does. How you negotiate it does. You can buy it with seller finance. You can buy it with subject to. You can buy it with a hybrid. You can buy it sub 3. You can buy it, with cash. There's how you acquire it is not or control it isn't the issue. I mean, that's the variable. The constant is the exit. Still create the first and the second and evaluate the risk, how much cash flow you want. So You know, Eric, what I think we can, I think what we can do is this. What if we said, we'll do a special, class, for, we'll see how many people we get so we can dive down in there. If they're already in the master class and they've completed that, we can maybe do it, but they're already in it. They can come in it and do it. If anybody that joins and we support Howard's charity, we'll bring that into them as well. I don't know what we'll have to do in the next week or two to check the schedules, because we were going to, there's so many deals out there right now that it's ridiculous. It just is. We're doing them every day. I mean, we were just talking, Eric, we were just talking about this yesterday. How many deals do you think we can do without really increasing the infrastructure or to do anything really, I mean, how many deals can we do a week or a month or a year, do you think? If we implement these other strategies? I mean, what's the number?
I mean, you can do a deal a day. I mean, it's out there.
You really could do a deal. You really could do a deal a day. Now might need some capital, right?
Yep.
Because you're gonna have to float money, but some of these deals that I'm looking at, the value of every deal that we write, I put $100,000 value on every one that I write. That's the number. Because if you write a $30,000 note and you're getting 3x, I mean, that's 90 right there, on the valuation. So, guys, don't make this harder than it is. And if you're in a crappy area, then don't do deals in your crappy area.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Right.
Don't try to freaking do a shit deal in, Des Moines, Iowa, if Des Moines, Iowa is a crappy area. No offense. I think it's not, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You don't need to do them in those areas. Find the good deals. We talked about this already. Focus in the top 5 seller financing states and forget about the rest.
Stacy she's gonna have notes on 20 of the units in her condo complex over there.
Probably should have just bought them all. Bought the whole count. Buy the whole damn complex, Stacy, and then file it and do it.
Yeah, you just be the bank on it and then own the HOA. Anyway,
I just put in 10 offers.
Yeah, nice.
Since we've been on this call?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Good. Anyway, well, that's what we can do. We will do an added version of it, because we don't talk in the materials, even though the materials are really good in the training. And conceptually nothing changes. All we want to do is take the 3 or 4 options that are available, that have been afforded us in the last 30 days, and drive us down a little deeper on those, because there's a crap ton of money in those deals, and those deals are everywhere, and you have to dig a lot less deeper to get more return on the effort. So, and we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg. So, I think let's just wrap it up. Is there any more questions?
So just so you guys know, so in the chat, you'll see we've got creativedealmaker.com/order. And then we also have Howard's charity. So if you were late on the call, we interviewed one of our good buddies who has a charity that he's supporting for basically underprivileged children. And it's coming up in the next month. I think it's what do we have? September 17th. And so what we did is if you haven't purchased the academy,
no, the master class,
the master class and the academy. Yep. If you haven't bought it yet, there's a 5. So it's normally $19.97. It's down to $14.97. And then we're going to give him a percent, 50% of the proceeds to his charity. So here's the thing, the people that we have in our program that bought the masterclass and the academy, they're going to do deals. And it's really important to understand the basics behind it, because now even more than ever, like Nick and I will tell you, we've been waiting for this opportunity for 10 years, man. It's like now we can tell the sellers what we want to do. not what they want us to do. And guess what that does? It just gives us more of an opportunity to sell homes to our buyers that aren't able to get it traditional bank financing. So that's the deal.
Look at Hammond. Hammond just put in here. It says, I've gotten people to give me houses because I can make their pain go away. I had him commit to making the next 3 payments. Do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't
No, we
think
were
people
looking
write
at
a
it.
check,
Yeah,
happens.
we were looking at a deal. You're like, hey, you make the next, so you're gonna have a $2,000 a month problem. What if you could make that go away in 5 months, and then you don't have to make the payment anymore, and you can get out today? I mean, so it costs them 10,000, but they're out of that deal. You know what I mean? There's so many ways to do it. So yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and we do this every week. So I think that if you guys, Nick and I will try to keep our time consistent. But I do these calls during work hours, because I'm a dad, and I'm involved with sports and stuff with my kids and all the events. But I actually don't mind the evening call on to stick on and answer some questions and go through some stuff. But we can dig into, like I said, if you guys are in the private Facebook group, add all your questions so we can come on and we can dig into these things, especially now. And we'll start sharing some more case studies on some of the stuff we're doing with the offers we're making. So I think that's it. Does anyone have you guys have any more questions? You have anything we didn't answer? And bring your deals into the group so we can underwrite them and make it happen.
Yeah. So there was a couple questions on the transaction coordinator about constant close.
Yeah.
If you guys are not, if you're having issues and they know, or you have got to tell them that it's with us. Okay. If they don't know that, I'm telling you right now, this goes for any of the vendors. You're a small fish in a big pond. Good luck. Okay. But if you're using our name, and if there's a problem and you're using the links that we put out, and you're having an issue with them, you need to let me know immediately. You need to let us know, because that will not last for very long, because we bring them many transactions. This is not just them. This is the servicing companies. This is the title companies. This is the underwriters, all that stuff. We'll do 1,000 transactions this year. And I can promise you, they make money off us sending them deals. We don't make money off them sending us deals. I can tell you that right now. So if they are a problem, we will fix that problem, or they will no longer be a vendor for us. I can promise you right now, I do not manage problems. I am not a problem manager. I'm a problem solver, period.
Right.
So so I hear this all the time, Eric, and I want to make sure I'm very clear on it. People say, well, I tried to get a hold of August REI and he never called. Well, then you didn't do what we asked you to do, because I can promise you, if you follow the process, it will get done, because guess what it is? It's already part of the transaction. But if you try to go rogue and try to go to the title company directly, or try to go, you're not going to get it, because these people don't have the bandwidth to deal with individuals. They're just too damn busy. But you guys have the advantage of getting the benefit of what Eric and I do on a very large scale. You are an extension of us if you're in this group. So even if you only do one deal in your lifetime, and you follow that process, you better not have a problem. And if you do, you need to let us know, because that won't be a problem for very long. That's what I'm telling you right now. Because I can promise you, you're no different going to them as if it was me, in my opinion. So, but you got to let them know, okay? I get people going all the time, well, I used them and they didn't write the note right. Well, then you didn't tell them who you were and what you needed to do. They can't read your goddamn mind.
Right.
If you just go to Constant Close, pick up the phone, and you don't use the link, they didn't know where you came from, then you get what you get. You got to follow the system and the protocol. And I'm not saying that's what happened here. I don't know the story, but I can promise you, I will have a follow-up call with any and all of the vendors that don't provide the level of service that I deem is necessary, because if they're not doing it for you, then it's like they're not doing it for me. And I cannot buy your note. I can promise you, I cannot buy your note and pay maximum value and give you premium pricing if you don't go through the right process. Period. That's it. So you have to do it. So we'll solve that problem if that's truly what it is.
Yeah, we'll get a hold of Constant Close and find out what's going on.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, we'll reach out to them, but it's we appreciate you letting us know, because we don't know. I mean, we're not having problems.
Yeah, see, like Greg just says, gives the link for Constant Close. Guys, that's like going through the front door on something. We've got a back door already. I got the secret code. You put the thing in there and it's in I think it's Constant Close / CDM or Creative Deal Maker. Okay, let's just pull it up real quick, Eric. Just pull it up real quick, because if you guys aren't seeing this page, then it's wrong. Go ahead and find it, because it's got. Is it on there? Is it on there somewhere? Keep going down.
Yeah, it's the last one. It's the last one.
Yeah, click the last one.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're not seeing this page, scroll. Let me see here. Make sure we got the right link. Scroll down. This is not the right page.
No, that was for the TC. There is, so it should be the first one then. We have two.
I don't know what this is. This is not it. Just go to Creative Deal. Just go to Constant Close / Creative Deal Maker. I don't know what that link is.
All right.
I don't know what that is. We need to verify that's not it. Okay. Don't even know what that was.
We have two on the research file, but
Okay.
I just put it on the
We
chat.
have one page. Okay, go to it's Creative Deal Maker. Go back up. It's Constant Close / Creative Deal Maker.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys aren't seeing this page. You're in the wrong damn place. Okay. That's what it looks like, period. Okay.
I'm putting it in the chat. There
Okay.
you go.
You got to use it, Dan. It's a whole different, it's different. The funnel is different. They know what they know already, that they have to do certain things differently when they underwrite the note. Okay. Period. The pricing's different. So it's a little bit cheaper, I think. I don't know that for a fact. We don't get anything off of it, but use the link. Okay.
And they know that they've been trained on what they need to do when they have the type of notes that we're creating. They have a process and a system that
they have our entire transaction management file.
Yeah,
that
they
has
have
all
our
the
file.
documents, and they create it exactly the same every single time. That's what they're instructed to do. If they don't do it that way, then we're going to fire them. It's that simple. I can go get another transaction coordinator. Not a big deal. But that's it. Okay. So guys, don't go to these. Don't go. Here's the thing. Remember, this is really important. There's two transaction coordinators. There's a Texas transaction coordinator, and there's the US. Constant Close handles all of the stuff outside of Texas. USA Home Partners handles it all in the state of Texas. Same process, different company. That's all that there is. And once it comes in, look, this is the last thing we're saying, and I want to get rolling. There's only 4 things that you guys have to do. 4. 1, find the property. 2, analyze the property, see if it's a deal or not.
But
3,
you can analyze it by putting it in the spreadsheet that we give you.
well, that's what it is. 3, fund the deal. Well, you can do it. You can fund it with cash, sub 2, sub 3, whatever it is. I don't care. Fund the deal. 4, find your owner finance buyer. That's all you have to do. Once you find that owner finance buyer, and Stacy, you find your owner finance
And Stacy
buyer,
just found 40 of them with one house. So now you got
one,
39 people to help.
pick one, fill out the contract,
Yeah.
send it to the transaction coordinator, and get the hell out of the way and let them do the job. And then we get it all the way through and get it to where you get you the bid on the note and get it sold and get out of the deal. Okay. That's it. If you guys are messing with anything else in the process, you are not only wasting money, you're wasting time, and you're losing opportunity to go get more deals. That's the bottom line. So, and you're not the expert. You guys are not expert, transaction coordinators. You're not expert note writers. You don't even, the verbiage that goes into the paperwork, and you're not, you're losing opportunity. Do what you guys do best. Go find the deal, analyze the deal, fund the deal, sell the deal, and then ship it over to the transaction coordinator. And then the transaction coordinator manages everything. They manages the underwriting with the RMLO, with the borrower. They do that. They make sure that all the documents and everything's prepped correctly with the title company or the attorney, whatever it might be. They make sure all the promissory notes are written correctly so that they give the most maximum value, that everything's done that way. And then lastly, if this note is sold, there's another closing that does the closing of the note, which is all the transfer of collateral, the allonges, the purchase sales agreement. That all gets done too. You don't even need to know what any of that means, except that somebody else is doing it on your behalf. That's what you're paying the fee for. Okay. That's it. So anyway, that's all I've got, Eric. So I'll follow back up with Constant Close. So if you got anything specific, send an email to support. Don't post it in Facebook. Send an email to support so we can take it and we can forward it and we can solve the problems. But if we don't know there's a problem, we surely can't solve it. But it's the most important part of the process. So I can promise you we'll get it solved. We got deals in Constant Close right now, and I don't have any issues with them. I mean, you always have some issues just in underwriting and, liens and crap like that. But that's different than the process, whether it be responding to your questions, getting you an update, getting it borrowed done.
But so their job is to get with title. Their job is to get with the attorney. Their job is to, oh, wait a minute, we're about ready to close, but the buyer didn't have their insurance writer there. They didn't name it correctly. Their job is to do all that. So you don't have to think about that. So you can go out and get another deal or go out and find another seller finance buyer.
I'm going to put this. Let me just put this in. I'm going to put this in here right here. Here, check this out. I'm going to put this in the chat. Okay. I can't share a screen.
And then I know I want to pronounce it Persa, but Persa is on the call. Just join if you're not in the Facebook group, go in the Facebook group. There's videos out. I mean, we got old Zooms that this is live. We're live on Facebook right now anyway. So all this stuff is there and we go into more detail on some of this stuff too.
Let me see if I can make this work. Copy. It's not letting me. My Zoom must be down because I can't even paste into the chat.
What do you
I was going to show all the documentation that goes into this transaction coordinator. I mean, there's 75, well, not 75. There's probably 35 documents that need
on
to
the
go.
buy and the sell. Yeah.
Copy. It won't let me paste. Oh, that did it. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was too big. Let me just do it. Let me do it in 2 seconds. So here's the buy side. This is what happens. This is what the transaction manager does on the buy side. Okay. Here's what they do on the sell side. And the sell side also is the combination for the note sale, because all the note sale is an extension of the selling of the property. So it's the same document stack. Okay.
And obviously in our master class in the academy, we go through all this stuff, but at least
okay, there you go. There you go.
That's their job, is to go through all these things and make sure that it's checked off. And when it's checked off, Nick, how more valuable is your note when this is done correctly?
Well, we already know it's 8% above the national average.
Yes.
So if the national average is about 82% right now, our average note purchase is 90% average. Sometimes they're a little more, sometimes they're a little less. That's it. Okay. So to pay $1,200 to $1,300 or whatever the number is, to get 8% more on your note, well, do the math. Even if you did even if you did $100,000 notes and you did 10 of them a year, that's $1 million. It's $80,000 to the bottom line, just because you stayed out of the way and let a professional that knows what they're doing relative to the exit.
And here's the other thing. Once the closing happens and there's documents not there, how hard is it to go get that stuff from the buyer?
Sometimes you can't even fix it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're screwed. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
All right, good. So Marie says, we just scheduled another free service overview call. Make sure you tell them that you're with Creative Dealmaker. Okay. Make sure you tell them. Okay. If you don't tell them, they're not going to know. Okay. Because they don't do, I'm telling you right now, they don't do what you're looking on your screen unless we tell them to do that. They could give two rips what the note.
they know how to do it, but if they don't know what to, they have a process and a system around what we do, but they don't, if they don't know who you are and what you're trying to accomplish, they're not going to do it right.
Look, they're not going to put a substitution of collateral in your note documents unless you tell them to do it. Right? They're not going to they're not going to do all kinds of crap if you don't tell them to do it. They have their own set of, because most people don't need it. Okay. When you have an attorney write a promissory note, they're just writing it from a legal perspective. Okay. They're not writing it from a bank perspective. Okay. That's the difference. They're writing it differently. And those little things, when you put a payment letter in there, for example, or you do the escrowing of tax and insurance, or you do other, clauses and disclosures in there, it all adds value to the end game. Okay. So anyway, enough of that. That's all I've got. I think we got all the questions answered. Hope this was helpful. Next time I'll be on, we'll be able to jump on and do all my other screens on. I'll be back in the office and I'll try. I think I just got to reboot my computer on this to be able to do screen share. But
no,
that's
I
all
appreciate
Eric,
you guys
anything
coming
else?
on our call at a different time. And we'd love if you guys can be
Yeah, we'll
involved.
play it by ear. You know what? There's people that can make it during the day that can't make it at night. People that can make it at night that can't make it during the day. It just depends. But the replay is always available at the end of the day.
Yep.
Replay is always available. So, all right. Well, that's all I got. So thanks guys for sticking around. You guys have a good week and we'll see you on the next call.
See you guys later.
All right.